Okay, so since everyone's talking about the Chiefs' penalty advantage, I went back and looked at the Patriots to see if they had some massive penalty advantage too, and the results will shock you. I'm not gonna lie, I went into this thinking that the Patriots were gonna have some massive penalty advantage because that's what it felt like when you watched the games, but in reality, they didn't. As you can see up here, they averaged 4.7 penalties per game, but their opponents only averaged 5.2. They averaged 38 penalty yards and their opponents averaged 41. Like, it was pretty even. But what is interesting is that over time, they actually did get a penalty advantage. As you can see up here, in the first half of the dynasty, they averaged more penalties than their opponent. They averaged more penalty yards than their opponent. But in the second half, they averaged less penalty yards and less penalties than their opponents. So basically, as you can see at the bottom, the Patriots went from having a penalty disadvantage to a penalty advantage. And not only that, but during the second half of the dynasty, 2011 to 2017, their penalty advantage got bigger in the playoffs compared to the regular season. Their penalty advantage went from 10% in the regular season to almost 25-30% in the playoffs. And also, as you can see up here, their penalty advantage wasn't big in games that weren't close. They were blowout games, games with a big margin. But in close games, they actually had the biggest penalty advantage in the entire NFL. Now, if we're being honest, the Patriots were an elite team, elite dynasty. They had elite players, elite coaching. They were well prepared. They were disciplined. They had playoff experience. So it makes sense that overall they had a slight penalty advantage. And also it makes sense that they got better over time because they were more disciplined, had more experience. It does make sense. And again, I'm not saying that every call was perfect. There was probably plenty of mistakes during the Patriots era. Don't get me wrong. But if we're being honest, the Patriots didn't have some massive penalty advantage. Like, it wasn't that big a difference. And also, whatever penalty advantage they did have, it probably makes sense.